Grugi is taking a very historical route. Yes, I can't agree more with the true historical relevance of Ottoman Brazil. He did it. The absolute madman decided that the Turk Islands should be his. I wonder if that's a localized Turkish name for them as well. He wants that 7 development over there, so yes, the Turks Islands will belong to the Ottoman Empire. It's scary though, he's such a strong powerhouse in Europe, he has the East open to him, and it looks like he's establishing a grand colonial empire. And since he's the first one out there, we could well see that colonialism actually pops up over in the Ottoman lands. It's pretty likely. It's looking pretty damn likely. I like that though, the Turk Islands belonging to the Ottomans. I hope he develops it into a true metropolis. I wonder if he'll establish a colonial nation, since I kind of like the idea of him owning it directly. But I don't make these decisions. I'm just the observer. I have no real power. Not at all. It's a very sad day to be Hungary. Of course, they would have lost all their alliances when they became a subject, and once they were spat out, probably had a hard time getting some. So Corfu and Lucca, not the greatest allies one could ever hope for. London has fallen to the Scots. And the English cannot take it back. Surprised the Scots just don't give it back, really. Who would want it? Although the English are Orkney and Shetland Island away from securing all of Britain for themselves. A Scottish blitzkrieg. They wouldn't have been stopped by any forts on the way down there. Perhaps it was not a maintained fort, so things going easier then. This is quite hilarious that the War of the Roses is now back. So with another Henry here, 420 that he is, our architectural visionary as well, so perhaps England will be getting a lot of buildings done under his reign. It's funny because now we have the War of the Roses back, and it's progressing because legitimacy is not that great. He might want to do something about that. Low stability, crappy military rule, so unless he gets an heir, and we don't have an infertile Henry here, looks like trouble brewing for them. Okay, so France finds themselves also at war with Castile and Aragon. However, they should remind themselves that Castile is protected. By extension, so is Aragon and Naples. So I do hope somebody pokes France about that, since we do have rigid rules about that. You can't help being sick, so want to take care of them. I also have an incoming transmission that I should definitely check out, the Muscovite ruler. Grand Knize Boris Ruzhov. He's a malevolent man. He's also indulgent, so double whammy on the bad there. At least their heir is well advised. Once they sit there for another 11 years, they'll get their third one, so... The malevolent Boris. Pretty old, though. Decent stats, but... honestly, though, malevolence isn't going to hurt Muscovy terribly much here, since they only have 2 subjects left. I'm surprised they aren't being integrated currently, but perhaps their army is worth more than what their lands could be. Amusingly, they did end up giving this province to Perm, so Perm has converted it for them. Alright, Austria has managed to clean up, well, as clean as you can call this, but the real cleaning up is being done by the Ottomans here. I'm pretty excited to see what's going to come of Hungary out of all this. It was just the one war, so they can only take 100% between themselves, but that should be a fair bite out of them. Venice no doubt wanting to unite all the Croat lands. Culturally, he will most likely want all of this. And gameplay-wise, he's going to want all of everything, because the players behind Venice and Ottomans have butted heads before in the past. So I've got a transmission from the player in France, Daniel. He's saying, I know. So he's well aware that war with Castile and Aragon is something that he should be piecing out of on the double. But they don't have set fast peace on, so it's going to be a tough one here. He has decided to jump in and take what's left of Savoy, though. France and Ottomans have so much in common. They're wanting to put their fingers in all of the pies. Which is interesting, since they have so much in common, and yet France is antagonizing Ottomans by getting involved in Africa, where the Ottomans decreed that they would be under Pax Africana protection. We're being asked how AI Brandenburg is doing in the Prussia patch. Now, I run overnights every single night, where I just turn on the game, leave it, go home, play some more Europa Universalis, and then come back into the office to see how the AI is done without any influence. And beforehand, you wouldn't see Prussia all that often. I would say more than half of the times we have seen a strong Prussian presence. And every so often, a Prussian behemoth who has decided that all German people under one flag. It's quite impressive. I love running hands off. I remember way back in the day of playing EU3, I wished that I was rich enough to just put a large monitor on my wall and just have it run EU3. So I could just have it as like interactive wallpaper. Interactive's not the word, but just have it buzzing away. A dream of mine, you could say. So the Ottomans appear to be wanting to feed land to Serbia in all of this. The war leader is actually Venice, though, so they'll be calling the shots. I get a quick idea of what they could demand here. If the Venetians took their land, that's 43, and then give land over to there. Okay, there's only so far they can get with this. Interesting. Hungary begging for peace. They're at 99%. They would give up pretty much no matter what. The Allies are already kicked out. Dynamic wallpaper, that's what I'm looking for. Also being asked if the Golden Horde, who I love so much, has embraced the Renaissance. I find that unlikely. Hordes, yeah, definitely not, since they're smoking a 43% tech penalty. I just want to compare this with how it currently works in release. So if you were to play as a Horde in release, you would be smacked down from the very start with a 75% tech penalty. So throughout the game, until you westernize, and you would also have to reform because you're a Horde, you would be enjoying 75% more expensive tech, period. Now they start off with 50, but the likes of the Golden Horde and Timurids wouldn't be too hard pressed to overcome that early on. And then it's just dynamic. So currently they're enjoying 43% of a tech penalty instead of 75. If they hadn't gone and embraced the feudalism, they'd be enjoying 93. So depending on how you play it, it's going to end up slower or faster teching for you. But the key there is that it's dynamic. Perhaps you just want to focus on blobbing all your way over there, then you're going to have a bit of trouble getting some of those institutions over in the east. Or perhaps you want to knuckle down, build up your land, get those institutions faster. You know, the options are there. Instead of just being branded, you are Horde, enjoy this tech penalty. You get to be the master of your tech costs. Well, to a degree. And again, I want to point out, it is fully moddable. If you can think of a way that you want to mod it, then it's more than likely possible. If you want to have the Institute of Fast Cars, then Bob's your uncle. So the Renaissance is slowing. As I said, I want to check on it province by province. So it's growing by 0.85 per month in Yidishkal, for example. But the growth is, well, pretty good because it's in a state, it has a port, they're lucky. Yeah, the Golden Horde is lucky because we've been playing the majors here, and they have high stability, or at least positive. But it's going down by 15% because they're a Horde. That is something that is clamped down on them, since if we check here, there we go, institution spread minus 15%. I think they're some of the only ones that have it worse there, although can I even see who I'm trying to look at here? Oh, they're too hidden for me to even check them out. No, Buryatia exist. Buryatia are a Siberian clan council. If you want a real challenge, go with them. They have 20% slower institution spread. You need it to spread to 10% of your development in order to embrace it, although if you let it spread further, it's going to be cheaper. So it would really only take a few provinces around here for Golden Horde to actually have the Renaissance. In fact, they already have it in Crimea. So if we check back over here... Right, so it's embraced in 3 of their provinces, but it's very small amount of their development. That's a shame for them. But then Crimea, shame for them, is currently just in a territory. I'm still in love with that Golden Horde. Long may Muscovy get destroyed so they can't take on the Golden Horde. Golden Horde who is trying their damnedest to keep up in tech. Some pretty alright leaders as well. Venice betrayed the Ottomans. Lol. Okay, so it seems that Venice decided that, yeah, this land for me sounds great. What are you getting, Ottomans? I'll give you a province. Not quite sure if that counts as betrayal, but he's certainly keeping his units stationed on the mountain that connects the 2 empires. They're still allied, though, for as long as such a thing can exist. I'm just checking our messages to see if we have any more incoming transitions. But no, all looks well. So is that 1642 at the moment? I'm looking at the time, not at the year right now. So I doubt we'll be seeing big player wars, since, as I've mentioned many times before, not the best of ideas to be fighting those just before stopping the session. This is strange though. England have decided that they want to go to war with Portugal, Ottomans, Serbia and Syria. But why? The English want to put the Portuguese in their place. But what are they doing and why? They're having the Scots come along to help because clearly the Scots are pretty good. He got given 4% of the land. With regards to the Ottomans there, they didn't get too much. So, English aggression against the Portuguese? I find that rather strange. What do the English want out of all of this? Portugal was not allied to Castile, so they didn't have some big boy help there that really would have assisted. But there are the Ottomans here. The Ottomans perhaps want to make good on their deals. After all, there was a lovely trade for what has been renamed to SEPTA, which did allow the Ottomans to fulfill their destiny overseas. I think the Turks Islands are complete. Almost. Almost. So if we check out the Ottomans, what's interesting is that they're being allowed to ship troops over, but it could be that the British just don't have the heavy fleet. Last time we checked them, they only had 6 heavies. And checking them once more, they've only got 7. Here in the Mediterranean, they don't quite have the power to be taking on the Ottomans, but I think the Ottomans are going to come and liberate Lisboa. Checking tech-wise as well, the English managed to get rid of their useless 000 very early on, and the Ottomans are boasting with Tech 8. Tech 8 making your infantry all that better at shooting the enemy to death. Well, with whatever fire would be at this point. Throwing stones, perhaps. But yeah, the English having Aragon, Castile and Naples on their side is going to make life pretty hard for the Portuguese here. But France is backing them. Okay, so things are going to get pretty interesting. What was I just saying about no big player wars? We have got Portugal, Castile, France, Ottomans and England all getting involved. England want to sign a white peace. Will Portugal take that white peace? If England are this quick to throw in the towel, perhaps things are looking good for them. However, it seems that having Castile on their side... Oh, now. If the Ottomans can just get over there fast enough, they certainly won't. Wipe goes, or very nearly wipe goes their units. Aye, these guys were only just saved, but I guess saved is a relative term when you have all of the Iberians coming down. So, terrible abuse of the Castilian players' inability to weigh in on this, that they are forced to attack Portugal here. Or clever move by the sneaky British, who should not be trusted in the dark or indeed in any other capacity. Alright, so the English have abandoned any attempt to colonize Greenland, and they've decided that no, they would far rather land on something that's pretty much connected to the mainland here. There's a province called Placent. Okay, okay. The things you learn. Well, Portugal are in very little position to be debating here, but I do wonder what the English want out of this. The English no doubt have the range on anything, but since France is getting involved, well, could be the English are going to lose their mainland here. That is why, no doubt, England were keen to get that white piece early. And since the English have a pretty poor navy, and I doubt they have the ideas that are going to make them all that strong. Well, they start off with the morale of navies, so never mind me. And their heavy ships do have that extra combat ability. They do not, however, have their corvettes, so they have not yet launched into Stellaris here. But if this war goes on, it could be a very tricky one. England do not have the war score to be enforcing peace on Portugal here. But now they've pieced out France. So what was this all about? This is a curious case of what's going on, but I have no doubt that the players will come down to enlighten us with what their grand master plans were. I'm also curious if Austria is going to be going for that throne again. The truce is up later this year. Would be very clever for them to try and get the Hungarian throne again. After all, the Emperor is nice and young, so surely, Daniel, they wouldn't die and immediately lose the Hungarian throne again. Algiers popping themselves out of Tunis here. Wasn't paying attention. I wonder if they revolted away there. And the Mamluks are just sitting there waiting to die. Checking to see if there are any other big player wars, because Muscovy and Poland, they've got some axes to grind here. Brandenburg's still alive. They didn't lose out too much there. So they're still in a position to help Poland out. So checking out Portugal, I don't think they're being stab-hitted here, but they are going to be seeing dominance of the clergy popping up. Perhaps not. But dominance of debt, maybe. Can't stand being in debt. And dominance of war exhaustion. It's another thing they'll have coming for them. It seems they've gone for their holiday home over in Kior. But that's about as far as they go. They've sold off 2 of their provinces. Surprised they didn't sell off the Azores. If anything, the English should probably want to go and grab the Azores for better colonization opportunities, but then they're about to establish themselves anywhere. Alright, Wiz keen to put the boot in since he has such great conversion abilities. He's even taken religious, so the power that Ethiopia has to convert provinces is otherworldly now. Oh yes, so they have their 2 from the base. They have an advisor, it seems. They've got stability 3. An enthusiastic believer. I don't even know what that is. A pious nobleman has accepted the sacred duty of spreading the faith of lost souls in our realm. So, the Copts are a conversion machine. And yes, since he has taken religious ideas, that's going to be all that bit easier. He's on his way south, but he knows he's just warming up to take the north. Okay, so war is over. Portugal have thrown in the towel. But what was it? I can check to make sure it was white peace just by looking at war exhaustion. So it was white peace. I can double check again by looking at the truce timer that he'll have with... wrong. There we go. So just 5 years. Maybe they have some kind of agreement here. But not one that I'm privy to. It was a terrible shame of Portugal, though. They had quite a navy down here. If they just coordinated with the Ottoman navy, They could have kept the English stuck in England whilst France and friends sieged them down. France secured their peace by getting Labourd, but it seems that's all that the English were willing to give up. And just making sure they weren't developing this land only to make it look more tasty for the French. So it'll be interesting to see both the Daniels come down and explain how things went for them. Austria now going back for that claim on the throne, no doubt. There we go, Austrian-Hungarian unification. That should probably be reunification. There we go, restoration of the Union. Bringing in all their friends, Hungary and Ferrara, they are only enemies. It's odd. I find it rather odd that Poland is coming to help. Maybe Poland wants to sneak some land for themselves, or perhaps they want to make good friends, since Poland now knows that it takes quite a bit to take down the Russians. Portugal gave France Madeira, so they would intervene. Then France peaced out for Labourd. Oh my. France is really benefiting from all these people killing each other around here. Now, Migos96 asks us, will there be new achievements in the patch? I think every single expansion we've done has come hand in hand with achievements. And I love making new achievements for Europa. So it would be really strange if there were not new achievements in Rights of Man. It's a pretty safe bet. Look out for more information coming before the release. And again, Rights of Man releases 11th of October this year. Hand in hand with the 1.18 free patch. The free patch which will include the institutions overhaul. So we have the Hardy Warrior, which is actually, if I'm not mistaken, Hungary's own ruler, who they're going to lose quite soon. There we go. Yes, monarchs that have been turned into generals can also get traits on the battlefield. So this Hardy Warrior giving him some lower attrition. Also, he's a beast on the battlefield. And he doesn't seem to want to know who he wants to put where. Because he's under grand attack from the Austrians here. He tried to make some incursion into Poland, but no. I think Hungary is going to be firmly under the Austrian thumb from now on, unless, you know, something tragic happens to Stefan von Habsburg. He's already an indulgent fellow. Who's to say what else will happen? I know someone else who was indulgent, right? Okay, now Boris is dead. And now we have the well-advised ruler. So you get your second personality after 10 years on the throne. And then an additional 15 years after that, you'll get your third one. So schizophrenics are in 1.18. What are the numbers below the war score slider in the war menu? Ooh. I don't really think we've covered that. I'll leave it to your imagination. Any confirmation on which countries are getting new unit models? Again, something we do with most expansions and something that will be coming soon. I will spoil you by saying they look amazing. Since we're going to be coming up to the end pretty soon, we've only got about 5 minutes left, I do want to go down and check out Luba. Oh dear, oh dear. And they're defending. Okay, let's have a look at Luba. What's going on here? They had everything looking so good. But they're alive. There is one crucial difference here, and that is that Luba is alive. They are the smallest and almost the weakest in this entire region. But they are allied with Strongo, who is actually, Strongo not so strong when it comes to tech. Lunda is cleaning up house. Kazembe probably wants to demolish what's left of Luba. Yeah, okay, so Luba's friends are these two. Alright, colonialism has struck. Let's have a look. I'm going to tag over to the Ottomans. Check out colonialism. Spawned in... Well, wouldn't you know it? The spirit of Skandenberg is a colonial man after all. So he went for it and he got it. Grugi has decided that colonialism can and must spawn over in Albania. Gets the major colonial port in Albania. What are you doing, Groogy? So this right here is the heart of colonialization. So it's like, no, forget Portugal, forget Castile. They weren't there, man. Aragon, no. We go home to Albania, part of the Ottoman Empire, because that's where the major port is. Well, congratulations, Groogy. It just shows that if you really dream big, you can have it all. I like that, so we have the cotton from the Turks Islands. We have, okay, it's just grain. Let's imagine it's maize then down there. And do we have goods here? We don't yet have goods, but it's most likely going to be fur or tobacco. So we got cotton and tobacco coming back to Europe, and the first port of call is over to Albania. Pretty good. People are also asking about 1500 victory cards. We've only got a few minutes left, so let's try and get through that as best we can. Do you even have any other victory cards there? Wait, was it 1500 you get? I can't remember now. In any case, we only have the one set of victory cards. Been so long since I've been the one in fighting that I've kind of forgotten that. Turkey goods from colonies. When? Yeah, see, the Turks have the best, most trusted colonial goods. And they gobbled up all of Wallachia with no sign of people wanting to rise up against them. Great move by Venice, though. Don't mind me. I'm just taking this land for myself. Hungary getting eaten up. And then finally they can be under Austria. But they hate them. They just hate them. That improved relation is going to have to go up to maximum before Austria's ruler dies then. They're only 19, but I've seen worse. Albania, port to the New World. Yeah, it's 1550 that we'll be getting the victory card, so... Jumping the gun there. No! Leave Golden Horde alone! Muscovy have decided to crush my dreams. Probably just taken out all their anguish over losing this land. Damn. Ah, a moment for Golden Horde. I love the Golden Horde. The first world conquest I have ever done in any Europa Universalis game was as them. I loved them. And now I'm watching them get destroyed and it's just making me tear up, so let's look away from there. Let's look at France instead. Think happy thoughts, but then I look at Catalonia and think that colour is so close to the Golden Horde. Alright, Wissington, you can take my mind off of things then. Still just slaughtering. The Mamluks have been broken in many ways, so they're just going to come up and grab Alexandria. It looks like we're calling it there then. So let's get a look at the world as we know it. The Golden Horde's still holding on there. What's happened then? We've had some big wars. We've had Poland and Muscovy fighting it out, ending in some slight Muscovite loss, but really Pyrrhic victory from Poland if ever there was one. Sweden is back, baby, and you know who else is back? Well, it's not Luba, but they are still alive. Kuba, however, is gone, so they're going to have to sort everything around. Do you believe that Bjornby can do it? I believe he can do it. We'll wait until he's back next week and break the news to him. What is the next institution after colonialism that 4% can put center in Albania? So if we were to check over to the Ottomans, next up would be the printing press. But I don't think we'll be seeing that, well, certainly not until after 1550, but that's going to spawn around where the Protestants are. So it's going to boost things for the north, where perhaps they weren't getting the earlier institutions as fast as the rest. So, if you have questions about how things are going, now's the time to throw it in the chat. I strongly suspect we're going to be getting some players coming down, talking about how things went, how they perhaps wish things had gone, if we are thinking about Austria here, and perhaps even Poland, Muscovy. Till then, GG no re, as I think they say. Whew. Gotta say, the Ottomans are doing extremely strongly out of all this, but well, why don't we just check how things are doing great power-wise, since Ming is still top dog, but they are falling down here. The Ottomans staying on top of tech, of course they're going to be that way, since they are the home of colonialism. Timur's holding it together astonishingly well. You normally see them fall to pieces. We also have France, England, Poland, Muscovy, Castile, Venice, hilariously. They're not a great power, but they are, it appears, a falling great power. Which I found a bit strange, since they surely wouldn't have so much score, but we can investigate that in a bit. So I think I see Secretary to Lucifer himself step in there. You can take the front seat if you want.
So happy.
grab yourself a headset. Now people can hear you and even see you.
Oh, hello.
I think I've seen you before.
Have you? Are you sure?
Everyone was very impressed. Very impressed.
Oh yes. Oh, like I actually tried this several times at home because I wanted to make sure that Albania became the major port.
Yeah, I mean the chat loves it. Just look at what they're saying.
I mean now finally the Roman Empire can continue its expanse to new frontiers.
Well, I just want to say the colony of England, France, and England want to say to Hanson that if he thinks he has the power in Europe to demand who gets colonies and provinces, he has to bring his armies.
Yes.
That's some tall talk there.
Okay, yeah,
So-
sure. You mean my 15% no,
You mean
maybe it's
my,
only 10.
you mean my 35% discipline? Or
No.
morale.
Morale, yes.
Morale.
I saw that the Turkish army, they lost to the Castilian army.
Yeah, because it's hard
treated.
Yeah,
it's
and
hard
I
transporting them.
wiped the Castilian.
Yeah, I saw quite a bit of wiping going
Yeah.
on there.
But I mean, you can colonize whatever you want. You're just not allowed to touch the African players.
I'm not touching the.
Which
No,
one
but
are
you're
African
awfully
players?
close.
I don't even know who any of these people are except that guy.
and he's a heathen.
And he's fighting together with Venice
Yeah.
and taking my land.
Well, no, I got the islands for it.
Yeah, but you took some provinces from Hungary.
No, Serbia took provinces from
Luba.
Hungary. I
No,
took,
no,
Luba
I
is
took nothing.
alive.
Okay, Luba is alive.
AI Luba made a comeback, got back their cores, and then some, then died. But they're still here. They're hanging on. 22 development.
Okay.
I think Bjorn will come
I
back.
gotta go
and-
south faster.
Yeah,
So how's Ethiopia doing then?
Doing quite well.
That's a pretty big
Ethiopia
wow.
is a conversion machine.
I am also
Yeah.
currently stomping on a Mamluks again.
I like to
What?
point out that there was a reason for the war between England and Portugal, was that Portugal had promised to give me the Azores by 1490.
Okay.
No, I had not.
You had promised to trade it for harbors in the future.
Yeah, I
Yes,
promised
it
that,
said
but we
1500 because
yes,
that
no.
was my demand.
No, but you don't decide.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
basically, as soon as the truce is up, I will attack Portugal again, and I will attack Portugal again until I get repaid for the stability losses. And and there will be no.
All right, so I'll station 40,000 in his land forever. Are you happy with that?
Yes, everyone.
I am.
Yeah, I hear Ottomans is declaring war on Europe.
I guess so.
Well,
France is going
maybe
to
if Europe could hold it together. I mean,
maybe
come on,
not everyone died.
Well, I mean,
the Habsburg seed is so weak.
Yeah, I wanted to die out.
First 000, now it's just, I'm in my mid-20s,
That
I
was
better go
that
die
was a
now.
consort. That was not
So how are
Habsburg.
things going up in like Russia and such? I know the Golden Horde got big. Oh, and then they got
And now the
I need to have
Golden
words with Lamander about that, because that is not, that's the most beautiful AI horde I've seen.
First
Big,
releasing that
strong.
battle.
Me and Marco thought the Golden Horde was protected because they're such a glorious nation.
Yeah, if only. No, there was war between the PLC and Muscovy, and it went back and forth a lot. But there seemed to be some kind of grey eminence going on there.
Yeah, it's like I didn't know that existed land that far up there.
I'm
Who would
enjoying
ever
that
live
Denmark.
that far?
You control the half the world, and suddenly
Yeah,
new lands pop
Denmark
up.
may have lost quite a lot of wars.
Yeah.
Everyone jumped in when Sweden wanted to get independent. I got a few islands. Burgundy got a bigger coastline.
I just threw
I was
Sweden
impressed
didn't
by
get
the
comeback.
Was anybody supporting those rebels? Because they were cleaning up house.
no, I
No-
was
no one
trying
gonna admit
get
to
in
it?
there, but I was too late.
I'm surprised Zeke isn't coming in just going, therefore. Okay, no, impressive stuff there. The Scots, I see you wanted to invite them to London so that they could see civilization for a change.
My armies were busy down in Castile to teach the lying Portuguese a lesson.
So, Patrick, you stood in for Strong High. It's looking pretty good.
It's close to falling apart, but it's I'm holding it together barely.
Have you had any institution down here? So
No, the thing is that I'm
Oh, I
behind
can
in
meet
tech
up with
too,
you.
because I've had a crappy king forever.
okay. Well,
I know that
You just
feeling.
need to work harder. Ethiopia has embraced the Renaissance.
Yeah.
But Patrick, we can meet up. Patrick, we can meet up in southern
Benin.
Africa.
how about we
Yeah.
have a look at how institutions are looking overall then? So that's been spreading around. So, well, feudalism just about to the world that matters, all spread. Renaissance. Ooh.
Also where it matters.
Oh wait, hasn't Europe embraced it yet, or
Yeah.
Yes, they have. It's
Not
all
yeah.
Sweden. Not Sweden.
Not Sweden.
Okay,
why,
yeah.
why am I darker?
Sweden is
That
not
is
good.
because we are we're
okay.
currently tagged over to you. So yeah, Sweden needs to step it up. But to be fair, with all that war, they haven't
They
been
are
able to produce,
primitive
like, art
people.
and poetry.
Yeah.
And something just doesn't seem right here.
Do
I can't
anyone
put my
else
finger on it.
think that Albania should be Austrian or Ethiopian or something like that?
Hashtag free
Austria
free
sounds
Albania.
well.
Free
Yeah,
Albania.
Austrian. I mean, like, because
These Skanderberg.
But I'm kind of happy with it here because it might spread quite fast.
Yeah, it should jump over to Italy first and then to you. I
So
think.
what would be a nice price for somebody to put Albania back on the map? Because I'm kind of rooting for this.
1,000 gold if it's an
You
Austrian.
can't
vessel.
even afford that. Fucking poor man.
Okay, it'll be a wee while until we see the printing press, so it'll be interesting to see how colonialism spreads.
I want to see the
Ethiopia's
printing
working on
press in
embracing it.
Ottoman.
Is that a loan?
No, the colonial.
Glorious
Is that a
Ottoman Trust?
loan?
Actually,
Free
loans?
Wow.
Yeah, but that was for the war in
Free
there.
loan.
I was
How many
paying.
loans did you take? 4 maybe?
Okay,
Well,
well,
Percent
no.
loans? Or
I took
what-
3
what-
loans
what's your
because I
interest
fucked
rate?
up in
what's
the
the
beginning.
interest?
The war with where I was helping Lithuania, I fucked up in the beginning, so I took 3 loans to just give them back money from
Okay.
having the.
did you end up sharing maps?
Yes, but I did it with Bohemia
Okay.
because I couldn't do it with Poland because they were at war.
I see. Yeah, I was it's like
Like I was clicking
it was
around
like there was
everywhere
this
trying to
force
find
field.
someone. To...
I really thought you were just betraying them. I was like, yeah, I'll help you.
no.
Well.
Sadly, if Poland had accepted war subsidies and Muscovy had not peaced out for giving up territory, I would have been able to hit enforce peace on the Muscovies
Oh,
to
right.
accept the white peace.
Yeah, didn't you sponsor both sides, Hanson?
What?
I was getting certain reports that there was cash flow between all 3 nations.
Because I can see everything and just clicked around and saw the diplomatic
Yeah.
actions of both nations.
Well, I can spend my money wherever I want them to.
Well, not on your own nation
don't
with
know
those 3 loans.
Okay, he's still not dead?
No,
He's
Mehmed.
he's God's
I
gift
like
to
that.
Earth.
I like the
Mehmed
air.
shall
I like the
Oh yeah, I had a really good heir, and then my heir rebelled against me,
Oh.
trying to take the throne, and then I went like, "Fuck no, I'm keeping Mehmed."
Maybe you need to disinherit.
Yeah, probably.
That's
You do have the
No,
prestige
well,
to do
the problem is Mehmed
he might
is
end
getting
up
pretty
really
old.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
And
But
but
you
you are Muslim. You can't
Oh,
even
that's
get into
true.
personal
Don't
union.
help him.
Yeah.
So,
Let his
And
nation.
you
No,
also,
no, he looks like
Yeah.
the real
so yeah, disinheriting from
I mean,
Muslims.
I do like that.
very good.
My
PG-13.
My consort did die before Mehmed. She was younger by like 10 years or something. And she died of age before him.
Because Mehmet's just too good.
Yeah, he won't, he's the man that do not quit.
My starting ruler lived to 72.
What do you feed your
so
rulers? I
He's
want
dead
that
now.
food.
Yeah, I got 7.
But Ethiopia's starting ruler is again God's gift.
Yeah.
Mm.
What is it, like
Quite a while.
654 or something
I didn't
crazy.
complain about Anna Van Joe. She was really good for England.
Are you going back into War of the Rose?
No, I got a pretty good air in it this time.
Oh, okay. Because I saw that popping up again. I was like, okay.
I had to
Coming
pick
up-
up
coming
Child
up
in the Reed.
Funny, so there's another Henry there as well. Ah, no, that was pretty good. It was nice to see some big player-on-player wars as well. So what's the next scheduled one?
Kill someone.
Yeah, it's like no Ottomans in Europe.
But I want to check on the score. Because I am number 1, and I'm super happy about that.
Really? I'd rather look at this, because you're just number 2 in my eyes.
Oh, that is actually the score is different.
No, this is the great powers.
This is what matters.
Yeah.
No, but like it says differently for me.
Okay, no.
No, not that I'm number 1, but I am closer to Ming on mine.
Okay,
but,
well, let's look at score here. So, okay.
Trick question: how many points do we have accumulated already? Like 300?
Nobody
How
cares.
important is that? Those of you that have multiple trophies.
You can give me that one last province so I get my victory card. That's 1,000 points.
No, that's minus 1,000 for me.
You'll forever be 4th place.
What?
Because if you get the victory card on me,
but I'm getting ahead of Hanson.
Yeah, but I'm getting it.
Well, I'm integrating Syria, which is my victory card.
Loves himself more
so
than he
you're
hates
not
Hanson.
getting past me.
Can always be arranged at the end if.
How is it looking for the Coptic faith?
It's looking pretty good.
I've got some.
Check
I
over
heard you
here.
talking about my conversion bonuses. They're pretty
Yeah,
good.
I was looking at you as like taking over the Sunni land, and I was like, okay, you got the base mount, you took the blessings. You even had like a holy person giving even more strength. It's like, the Copts will rise.
Do you have 2 of the?
You got a 3rd one, but
Yeah,
did not-
Armenia was
did not-
temporarily free and then got eaten up by a certain guy over there.
Right, Armenia, yeah. No, but I didn't eat up them. I went in there to protect them from the hordes around them.
I'm sure.
So how long can such an alliance really last between Copt and Ottoman?
I'm allied to all the players I can see in,
We're good for
in
now.
Africa.
I also win money.
So, Mr. Nibbles, there was this big war where you declared on Hungary with the Ottomans by your side, and the Ottomans got like very little out of this war. Maybe only like 4% of the gains here. It was tiny.
The Serbians didn't want the promises we were trying to give them, so...
How much did you try to
Shouldn't
give
trust
The mountains.
Oh.
So I can build forts there. So I'm safe
that
from
isn't the
the
Ottomans,
west.
that's Serbia.
But that's
Well,
nice.
yes.
Yeah, you're trying to give them two
Well,
Serbians
you've
make
been
a war.
trying to get Hungary for so many years now.
Yeah, I
enough
can-
is enough.
Yeah,
If you
yeah, it's
really
like,
wanted it, you'd
I
put a
got
ring.
tired of it. It's like, for fuck's sake, get rid of it.
My nation is cursed.
Yes, it is.
It is.
But,
But I'm getting a decent king. Like, he can't die now. He's 17.
Isn't there
19.
an espionage where you can
He
kill
will.
kings?
You know what? I
got-
think it's because your nation is so hideous looking.
Yeah. What are these borders?
Hungary goes like, nope.
It's like Venice is trying to hold up the flab of your nation here. It's horrible.
I can say, be glad that I didn't call in Bohemia because they were in another war, because I was
They're not
temporarily...
even your allies.
Yes, they were.
Not
They-
anymore.
but they were during the war and before the war.
Wait. Oh, against Hungary?
What?
Against Hungary?
No, I was allied to Bohemian AI just because...
Yeah, but I declared war on Salzburg, so you couldn't help them.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Wait, you took Salzburg?
No. They're still there. I just used it as the casus belli.
Yeah, and...
Conquer it and rename it Salzburg.
Well, you always just want to look at the
I
Ottomans.
really don't like the Ottomans in Europe, in the West.
But I'm a European.
No,
I'm more European than
yeah,
you.
that Ottoman vassal in the West. Go to a little bit west of Castile.
That's not an Ottoman vassal.
Yes, it is.
No, that's my bank.
That is a better.
I just take loans from them and build stuff.
I don't like this power
Like
block of
building the
Ottomans,
best
France,
colonies.
and Portugal
Yes.
helping
Is
each
that a
other.
dynamic rename, or did you rename
Yes.
it?
No, that's a
I'm
dynamic.
not part of any.
No,
Grand
Ottomans
Turk.
are Ottomans and
Power
France
block.
allies.
And
Daniel
I
went
have
crazy
another
when you
colony.
attacked Portugal. He's like, we gotta
No,
kill
another
Johan.
one.
No, I mean,
I said free
the thing there is that I
Until I cleared
only
it up.
want to stay neutral.
That's New York, right?
Maybe you should send me some money as
Probably.
well.
No, it's New Jersey. I
If
just
you
want
had
to.
paid me
I
money,
told you alone.
if you had paid me money for breaking your promise, I would have.
Accepted it.
But no, he didn't make such a promise.
Yeah.
I've
have
seen
the
the
chat log.
conversation, And the conversation is you saying, I want it by 1490. He never agreed to anything. He said you'll have to wait until 1500.
No, he never said that.
Yes, he
Yes,
did.
yes, I did.
I can bring up the
Yeah,
image if you want.
Yeah, that's when I said at the start of the day 1490, and he said okay, and there was no comments about it after 1490.
No.
Do we need some evidence here?
Yes, there were comments.
A ruling.
Where to sign papers.
some print screens.
I did say that Hansson asked me not to.
Yeah, that was
give it to
when
you.
it was 1490, and I asked for it. Then you
What?
said
No.
Then you said Hansson told me not to when I asked for it.
No. I said that earlier as well.
See, it's serious business here in the office.
I don't
But
think, I
now-
don't think
now-
that we ever actually said any dates beforehand. So
Now I don't care
The only
because
thing-
now I have colonialism. So
yeah,
that was the whole.
was the
I just
important-
wanted to guarantee
Yeah.
that Albania got the recognition it deserved.
that was
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
not Albania.
the
So,
reason
free
why I
Albania.
agreed to it as well.
That is Albania.
I love
It is the.
It should happen in
I
Albania.
see some flag there and it's very grey. Could you just hold over
But-
someone else's core there?
Just so you
just
know
as
the
a-
consequences of
No,
it.
but that is the Albanian province of the Roman Empire.
It's gonna slow down the West for 20 years. Forgetting the colonial.
It would actually
Well,
be, it would be
it'll
very
turn out
difficult to have it
Yeah,
much further
the only
away
one
from-
it's gonna slow down is you.
and France.
No,
and,
no.
and Portugal.
And Aragon. And
No, actually,
everyone.
because I actually have a deal with that I'm gonna offer to you later, so you're gonna get it quicker.
See, I'm talking about the
I'm
part.
just-
And he
hearing-
already gets it quicker.
I'm just hearing that we need another Varna Crusade, so who's up for that?
Who controls the
That turned out
courier?
well.
Crusade.
Oh. Didn't we already have one going
No, I
on?
think Denmark.
Oh, wow, okay. Well, they'll be
Oh.
trying to start a crusade against Sweden. That wasn't pretty
Nah.
impressive getting all that
So
back.
who can take the courier control?
Yeah,
I've
take
been
courier
trying. I have the
control,
mission.
launch a
I have the
crusade.
mission. I'm trying.
Crusade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so anything special before we wrap it up?
Actually, I want to see who has the largest navy.
I just lost
Isn't
one,
it
so
a
not
little
me.
cheap to look
Isn't
at?
that the Ottoman Empire by 17 big ships or something like that?
I don't think he would be asking if he
No,
was.
but
Oh no, you have a bigger fleet than me.
And
could you check income of everyone?
Sure.
Yeah,
That's more
it's,
interesting.
Hmm.
Ooh, I'm close.
Not OP at all, are you?
No, I can. You see, I have loans. I can barely pay my dues.
Mehmet can do everything.
The Roman Empire is poor.
Where's Portugal?
Oh,
Fairly low down.
You got to scroll quite a while before you hit Portugal. Oocha.
When's this truce up?
Taking those provinces back. Well, okay. Well,
You'll be
pretty good.
trying.
Pretty damn good. So, plot well, and we'll be back down next week. All right. Cheers, everyone, for joining in this Europa Universalis developer multiplayer session.
Viva
I
la
would
France!
All glory to Coptic!
I can get behind one of those. All right, so again, we are playing with Rights of Man. It will release on the 11th of October, 2016, alongside 1.18. But I could sit here and go on about all that all day, but I think it's time for drinks. So from us at the studio, thanks for joining. Cheerio. We'll see you next week.